and welcome to the studio vlog. This is where the place where organization comes to die, basically. I need to tidy up my desk as usual. I think I start all my studio vlogs with the chaos that is my desk when it gets a bit messy. This is 2 days worth of filming and there is crap everywhere. I have things to show you, things to chat with you, a little bit of process here and there. But yeah, welcome to the studio vlog. I try to figure out who I am. My little Raven seems to think that this is a good place to live and has decided that over the course of this month I have found her sitting on my desk on top of all the art. And yes, I'm okay with it as long as she's happy and she feels safe. I'm happy with it. I have watched quite a few of the live streams between Babette and Rowena this month, and it's been lovely to just sometimes sort of zone out and just do a little bit of line work, especially since this month was really rough mentally, like really rough. I've been chugging along trying to get myself out of that funk that we get into sometimes. And the start of this month, after I got hit with that huge migraine, it took me all month to sort of get out of my own way. And I hate that feeling. And when you're a girl boss and when you're your own boss, it is really, really hard to sort of do those things and to be peppy and excited. And especially when you have all these people looking up to you and you're trying to invigorate them and make them feel powerful when you yourself feel so less than powerful. And the start of this month is definitely one of those moments, and it really just put me off my game. It really just made me feel exhausted and tired and unmotivated and not very happy. And so I did take a step back from social media. I did take a step back from the group, and I was quite quiet. And it wasn't because I didn't want to be there. I always want to be there, but sometimes I physically cannot make myself do those things. I know I always talk about doing the hard things, but sometimes those hard things are impossible to do. And so the start of October was not that amazing for me. But you got to keep trying, you got to keep pushing, and you put one foot in front of the other, and you get your planner out and you start writing down those to-do lists, and step by step check them off, bit by bit. You just have to do it, especially when you're your own boss. And I understand more than anyone what it's like to feel low, but I promise you it does pass. You've just got to make yourself do those things. I got some happy mail this month. I placed an order with Catnip, who is a adorable illustrator over in England, and I finally decided to grab one of her orders from her Etsy store. I do watch her quite a lot. Her studio vlogs just make me smile, and I don't know if I've shown you the actual things that I got from it, but I ordered some stickers from her, and I ordered this beautiful enamel pen. And it just helped brighten up my day, really. I'd had a rough start to the week. This was, I think, 2 days after my migraine. So I was trying to sort of get back on the horse, get back on the creative horse. And her packaging and her styling and everything is just so adorable. I love this pen. I got her a Sailor Moon sticker pack. I also got her Soot Sprites, and it was totally worth it. So I love supporting other girl bosses. I love supporting any creatives, actually. I shouldn't just say girls. I love supporting other creators as much as I possibly can. And the other little piece of happy mail was a item that I got from an Etsy seller. The Traveler's Notebook Factory released these beautiful items that you can't get your hands on unless you're in Japan. And Mitz tried to get me one and she couldn't. They'd sold out. So I found an Etsy seller that actually grabbed some. And so I paid a little bit extra to get these beauties in my life, and the Etsy seller sent me some ephemera for my journal, which I thought was way cute. So that was a nice surprise. And I actually bought this beautiful leather folder to slip into my standard. As you know, I have quite a few bits and bobs for the standard size, and it will be my next journal after my B6, and I just loved how it looked. I absolutely loved it, and it's just something extra to add. And of course, it wouldn't be a studio vlog without a Monday Mantra background. You don't see the whole of this being created, but I like to sometimes show you the process. Collaging is something that I find so therapeutic and just so relaxing. So I do really love creating those backgrounds for Monday Mantras and also for your collage sheet pack. And you'll get this collage in your pack next week, actually, or this weekend. This weekend. Ugh, brain's dying.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon and the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a rage. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day to tomorrow, there's no.
Sometimes I really love watching my kids, and with the school holidays happening during the studio vlog, I love checking in on them, and I love seeing what Bill is doing. She's always so quiet sometimes, and I'm thinking, oh no, she's too quiet, what is she doing? And as I was collaging that background, I sort of snuck into her room to see what she was doing. And she was also collaging her own little background at her desk, cutting out the magazines that she'd pilfered from my bookshelf, and just making her own little collage. And I love watching her hands do the same things that I do with a little less dexterity, but still just as creative. And I love that she has found a passion for collage. She's not quite there yet, but she does totally enjoy doing it, and that is all that matters. She's always asking me for magazines, and she's always stealing my glue and stealing my scissors. I was looking for those scissors for ages, and she had them. And I love that she cuts everything so carefully, and she is so opposite to me, where I just hack away at things with the scissors. She was very, very meticulous, and it just made me smile. And then you have my boy who has absolutely no creative want, but he loves his games. And I love the comparison between my kid's hands. This is where his passion lies, in games. He is a gamer at heart. So I feel like my kids both represent me so very well, because I'm a gamer, but I'm also an artist. And so I've got a little bit of me inside each of my little teacup humans, and I just absolutely love that. I found a real love for French Earl Grey tea. As actually become one of my favorites, almost over English breakfast, which is my tried and true ride or die tea. And I love the loose leaf version of it. I just love it, and I have multiple cups a day. And I'm really enjoying just sort of getting some ideas down, trying to brainstorm, trying to think about 2019. What do I want to do? How am I going to hit the ground running? How am I going to make sure that I don't start 2019 in a rut or in fear or anything like that? So I'm making battle plans, creative battle plans, and trying to make sure that I get all the things that I want done. I didn't achieve everything I wanted to this year. I mean, the year's not over yet, but some things will just have to wait and some things take time. And this Etsy thing, I'm going to make this damn thing happen whether I like it or not. It's a big jump. I don't know why I'm so scared to do it, but it's time. It's time to start doing things and having other streams of income, especially Etsy, which I know can be an amazing source of income for my family. And yet I try so hard to avoid it, and I don't know why. So I definitely have to do the damn hard things and get my Etsy up and running. And you guys have to hold me accountable, because I will run from that idea so many times, but I can't run anymore. I gotta do it. I need to do those hard things for sure. There's been a lot of these little characters being drawn, my little stress hearts, I call them, when I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed or just trying to get that creative flame going. I seem to be making these little marker hearts, and I just cut them out and glue them into my journal. And my damn Muji pen died at the same time. And I've got really ragey because I hadn't used that pen for very long, and it died. So that's okay. We all move on. I'm loving this B6 journal. I'm loving the insert. Brie has done a fantastic job. And it's almost Halloween, so it's time to sort of get the lollies going. Even though I don't expect to have too many kids. I hope that we get some kids, but we have little decorations in our house. Halloween is not huge here in Australia, but I like to bring a little bit of the creepy and the spooky, but still very cute, into our home.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
Okay, so this is the 2019 Midori MD A5, and this has that beautiful MD paper that I love. And this is very, very minimalism. So it's got the 2019-2020 calendar, and then it's got these big spread out monthly note pages. And then it's just not note pages. Oh my goodness, my brain's tired. It's got the monthly spread on 2 pages, and then it's got these huge gaps so that you could obviously decorate it or add notes or things. And then it has the 12 months there, and then it's just got grid paper at the back. And that is basically all it is. And I loved the look of this, and I sat with it and I was like, well, maybe I could just do a month on a page and then do sort of like a bullet journal style at the back. But I think I need a bit more order than that, so I have to try and work out if I gift this on or whether I use it or sell it. I'm not sure, but I love how simple it is. And I think this was Anais' problem as well. She was going through like planner chaos. I think she settled on the same one as me. Not quite sure. It was her that introduced me to that planner. But yeah, so that was the MD one, which is lovely and beautiful. And if you don't have heaps going on, then that month on a page would just be perfect. And then you can add notes at the back. You could turn it into a journal. You could sketch. It does have the grid paper, and it's quite a strong grid too in the blue. But it is really lovely and very, very slim. So there's that one. And this one is quite chunky, and not too chunky. It's probably about the same-ish thickness. Keep in mind that I've got like tip-ins and photographs and stuff in here. So I am unsure. I did say that I would go back to the Jibun in 2019, and I have actually got I haven't ordered one, and I'm pretty sure I don't think I will. So I'm really quite loving this. It means that I've got a big chunk down the bottom for my home stuff that isn't sort of boxed off or anything like that the way that this one was. So I can split this up for home down the bottom, work up the top, checklist down the side for like things that I need to get done this week. And then the only difference I think was that I could remember was like the action items for the week, but there's no reason why I can't use these boxes and make my own action items and just rule those out. I do like the fact that it's more portable. I can carry it with me, but it's also still a little bit bigger than the Jibun B6 Slim. I could have gone A6 Slim with the Jibun, but I thought I'd give this one a try because it looks very minimalist, not too crazy. I do like the feel of this paper. It feels just a little bit thicker than the current Jibun paper, which I kind of like. Haven't tested any media on it, obviously. It only arrived this morning, but I did show it on Instagram, and there's also note pages at the back here as well, and also a map, which I don't need. But yeah, so that is currently the front runner for my 2019 planner, and then I have to work out what I want to do with this because I obviously spent the money on it. I did think about putting just deadlines in here, and then I thought, no, that's just silly. Give me some ideas. Give me some ideas, because there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months left in this because I bought a mid-year one, so I've only used 4 months of this to find out that I think it's just, I love it. I just wish it was more portable, because I spend a lot of time in the car, or I spend a lot of time if we're doing family functions and stuff. I would have something with me that I could use, my sketchbook, my iPad, my journal, and sometimes my planner to note down things or ideas. And I have missed having that since having this big beast of a thing. And then this thing stopped kind of getting used. Then again, I kind of go through lulls, and I talk about this, I've talked about this before, but like when I'm not feeling well mentally, you can tell that my planner goes dormant, and it doesn't stop me working, but it stops me it stops me chasing, and that's the difference. When I am okay and I'm mentally great, I am chasing and hustling and doing 1,000,001 things. And then when I'm not feeling too great, my planner sort of reflects that, and I get my obligations done because I still have a job, I still have work to do, but I don't chase, and then I get behind. Chasing is what keeps me in front of the ball. It's what keeps me going, and what keeps me being energetic. But sometimes you really can't chase when you just can barely get out of bed. So I think this will be a good little book for me. I think so far it's the winner. So far it's the only one I've actually gone out and purchased, and it's because I do really love how this feels, and I knew that I was going into a standard size for my next journal. So I was like, okay, so why don't I do a 2-in-1 and do almost like a 1 book July thing, but for like 2019, maybe. I don't have a Sojourner in this size. I may pick one up later on, and if I was to buy one, I'd buy like a little wider so I didn't have overhang. The overhang doesn't worry me, but that's because I have this on hand to use. So yeah, that is the planner chat portion of this video.
I know that Nathan was hoping that I'd do a tutorial for my iPad, and I can safely say that I am in no means ready for any of that type of thing, but I thought I would throw in some iPad footage for you just to see. What I do is super basic. I'm literally Frankensteining the months into days, because I had a request to have the colored days of the week in collage sheets. So in like the final hour, I'm trying to make that happen. I did ask Sian to letter them for me, but I know she's super busy being a teacher. She's got so many things on her plate with school reports and the end of year. I just had to think, how can I do this without
without troubling her. And I know she said it wouldn't be a trouble, but I know people's plates are full. So I sat down and I thought I can Frankenstein these with all the letters. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting the days of the week together by taking sections of her lettering, copying them and putting them into a new file and just rearranging them so that I can give the Inky what she asked for, because that's what I try and do every month. If there's a request and I can do it, I will do it. And I always want you to know that I will do my very best with all requests that get asked of me every time collage sheets come by, because I do this for you guys. You're my main priority, and I want to make sure that you guys are happy and that the things that I'm creating are things you're going to use and love and adore in your journals. Sometimes I do create things for myself, a bit selfishly, like these numbers. I wanted some stars in my life, so I made numbers that have stars in them because I wanted them. But I know there's so many star lovers out there in our group as well, so it kind of doesn't matter. And I'm just test printing the calendar so you guys will get a quick sneak peek of her before she goes live tomorrow. Do keep in mind the actual color of her that you see now is how she is, but when the image goes up as the sample image on Patreon, for some reason Patreon's changing that big beautiful teal blue dot in the middle to a really funky green color, and I can't seem to do anything about it. I have tried to change it in different file formats. I've tried everything and it's still coming up this really disgusting green in the preview on Patreon, but I have checked the PDFs and they are fine. So I don't know what Patreon is doing, but ignore the giant green circle tomorrow. Good morning, Inkies. It is another day in the studio vlog and I've got my journal out today. I feel the need to just have a little bit of breather from collage sheets because collage sheet week is like all consuming and it just makes me like really focused on getting those done and like just hammering out at the computer, the iPad, wherever I need to be to get them done is where you'll usually find me. But I sometimes need a little bit of a breather from that. So I thought I'd have a play in my journal just for a little bit this morning. And since it's not going to be a full-blown like whole page thing or just me playing around, I thought I'd pop it here in the studio vlog because there's no rhyme or reason to what I feel like doing. Today I just know that I missed my journal and I wanted to get a few things down in there. So when I was at crop night the other week with Sian, we actually went into Officeworks for her to copy some of the last month's collage sheets because she hadn't done them yet. My phone's vibrating on something that it shouldn't be. And so I had my travel journal with me because I was just finished working on this spread for you guys. And I had it in my, because I had wanted to play in there for crop night. I didn't get around to it. But I did throw in my journal into the photocopier so that I could take some of these spreads. And I love how it looks like an open journal. I don't know, for some reason this just made me really happy. So I photocopied a few of the pages so that I could put some of these things into my journal because I do love some of these. I love how they look. And I would put them in because it's the same sort of size. I just cut them down a little bit. I think I would make them like full-blown tip-ins, like full page tip-ins in my journal. So I've got those 3 pages that I scanned. I really loved this. Will I put the whole thing in? I'm not sure. Maybe not sure for this one, but I do really love like some of this look. And I just loved it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put them in my normal journal because I want to have them in there as well. And I feel sometimes when you do a travel journal that's separate from your journal, you miss out on some of those memories, which is why I've been slowly sort of adding in bits and pieces from my travels. Like when we went to Tokyo Disney Sea and stuff, like I've been putting, and like the US trip. So I've been putting some of those memories into here because I felt like they they haven't been forgotten. I can't say that, but I haven't done a lot in my travel journal for the US. And once I finish my Japan one, I'm actually going to be pushing myself to keep working on that journal for the US. I think because it was such a long trip, it was the whole family.
I think I've talked about this way too much, but I need to get over myself and do the hard things and get that journal, well, it started to get that journal complete. So I've got some of that. I've got some little magazine clippings that because I've been altering stuff for a video coming up in November about reimagining your collage sheets and your creatures and things. So I've been playing inside some magazines, and I've just ripped up some textures and stuff. Today is Halloween. So I wanted to add my little Oogie Boogie sticker that I got in a little Disney box the other day. I love him. Is he gonna focus, camera? Are you? Why not? Focus on my sticker. There you go. He was like, he had a white outline, but I didn't like it, so I cut it off. So I've got him for my journal. He seems to have gotten an oil stain on him, probably from my feral little minions. They're teacup humans when I'm loving and adoring them, and they're feral minions when they're in trouble. And I've got some printables from Z Darling. I want to say Z or Zai. And she did some Halloween printables that I just loved and adored, and I've adored her stuff for ages. So this year I finally decided to buy both packs, and I accidentally printed one in black and white, so I've got two. I've just pulled some of the PNGs onto an A4 page that I wanted to play with or have in my journal, and so I've got those. And then I printed like this sort of background paper. I loved the moths when she was drawing them, and I'm pretty sure the moths are last year, but I printed out one of the papers in black and white. It's meant to be a cream background, but I wasn't fussed either way, so I sent it through that. And I think that is all the things that I'm going to show you today in regards to like odds and ends. But I loved these. I loved that there was like a mini raven, so I wanted to put her in there. And I love the moon, obviously, you know that they're my favorite things. So yeah, so I love these kind of things. A little pumpkin. I thought since it's Halloween today that I'd put some of the little Halloween things in my journal that aren't mine, because I do love to support other artists all the time whenever I can, and I've always admired Z's illustration style. I absolutely adore her use of like no lines. If you can see, there's no real outlines on some of her illustrations, and I wish I could be cool enough to do that, but I live by the outline. I live by the line. So I thought I would use some of her things in my journal today. It is kind of overcast. I don't know why. We go from tomorrow. Friday's meant to be 40 degrees, which is going to be so stinking hot. But it's okay. I have air conditioning. I don't have heat rage this year. Air conditioning still's working, touch wood. So yeah, I thought I'd probably photograph some of our little Halloween decorations. Well, not that we have much here in Australia. It's not huge yet. It's getting traction every year. But we have a few things. And I'm staying home this year to open the door for the little ones that come to our door. My kids are going with John's mum and doing trick-or-treating with her. So I didn't want the littlies to miss out on our side of the street, like our side of town, because last year we got quite a few, and I didn't want them to miss out if we went home. So I wrangled in my mother-in-law to take the kids trick-or-treating on the other side of town, and then I would open the door here. So I will put on a funky pair of ears or a funky headband and be really bright and colorful, and I may steal my daughter's fairy wings to open the door for the littlies. There are a couple of older kids that did it, but they were mainly little ones last year, so I'm assuming we'll get the same again. But yeah, so I thought I would just sort of put a few things, take some photos of the kids later on this afternoon, but obviously I can't do that now, they're at school. But yeah, I just want to play in my journal. There's 6 minutes of babble for you. But yeah, if you've got other travel journals or older journals that you like you're feeling a bit in a funk, and I know there's quite a few of you guys that have been in a journal funk lately, get out some of your older journals, throw them in a photocopier, photocopy some of the things that you love and adore, and tape them into your new journal to sort of help you sort of visualize what you want, not even what you want your journal to become, but just to visualize something that you knew that you loved way back when, and that might sort of go, oh, I haven't used that colorway in a while, or I haven't used that stamp set, I haven't used that washi tape in a while. So it's a great way to remind yourself of what you've done before, what you loved before, and it may very well get you re-inspired to use those items again, or to do something in that similar style, similar layout. But yeah, so that's kind of why I did it. Plus, I wanted some of these memories in my journal. I miss Japan so dearly, and I hope we get back there soon. But yeah, I thought I'd sort of add these little items into my journal. Now this one I didn't even notice it until now, or like the other day, that this is when my journal was scrunched into the photocopier, so it's not quite the same. So I don't know whether I'll cut it wonky or what, or whether I cut it apart, have my little illustration. But I'll work it out. I am going to put on some YouTube. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of journaling, laid back journaling for you guys on the vlog today, and work out exactly what I want to do. I may go take some photographs of our Halloween bits and bobs too, to print out and put in my journal. So let's get going, guys.
Another studio vlog. I am back off my holidays and I am feeling a little tired. Going to Florida is not a peaceful and relaxing holiday, so my body is a little run down. Please excuse the wet hair. I think all the chlorine and kind of the sun hasn't done any good, so I'm trying not to use like heat tools like hair dryers and straighteners. But anyway, you don't care about that. This week's vlog is going to include quite a lot of stuff. I've currently got around 80 outstanding orders on my Etsy store, so I need to do a lot of work. It's also Halloween weekend this weekend, and I'm hosting a party tomorrow. I just love to give myself so much stress. I don't know why I do it, but
you want to leave this place where we grew up.
So a lot of this process is super self-explanatory, so I'm just going to let it play and let you enjoy it with the music so you can journal along with me, and then I have a little bit of a show and tell at the end of the vlog with some items that I received from the lovely Jane from the new Making Faces range. But yeah, this is Catnip that I'm watching on YouTube. She put up a studio vlog. I will put her link in the description if you don't already know. I think I've linked her before because I've watched her studio vlogs before and I absolutely love her. She's probably one of my faves. She rose very quickly to one of my faves along with Fran Nerd. But yeah, this is a very self-explanatory journal with me.
River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're gone. Hoping you would stay, but I've always known you would go and find your own way. I still see when we climbed up in those trees, 12 years old, feel the wind and watch the river run, and the sun would always shine. When we sat there, you and I. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
So I'm popping in quickly to let you know that this is another idea to use for the highlight weeks. I decided to make some butterflies for your printables so that you could do some butterfly wings inside your actual journal pages, and when they become a tip-in, they can have their wings flutter. Believe me, when I found out, well, not when I found out, when I sort of got the idea, I felt so smart. So I'm only putting half of the butterfly in of this one. I've actually got 2 butterflies in your journals, in your collage sheets I mean, but this one was specifically created to do the highlight thing. So the dots on the side of the wings are where you can put your dates, and there's enough room for your journaling as well. And there's the other one which I just kind of painted. I guess you could use it for the same thing, but I didn't draw it like I drew this one. So I meticulously drew the wings like this, so you had room to put your journaling in there. So I thought that was a very cute idea, and I wanted to sort of showcase it. I couldn't wait to play, even though they're not released yet. So another sneak peek for you guys. There you go, butterfly wings. I love them. I love them. I want to see everyone do wings in their journal.
I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken, and take this weight off my shoulders, 'cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
While I'm sitting here, this little package came in the mail. Now, my Spellbinders PR stuff is taking its sweet time, but Jane decided to surprise me with a few of the things that she thought that I would like from her new range. So these arrived in the mail today, and this is from the new Making Faces range with Spellbinders, and they look super fancy, and it is inspired by makeup, which I think is very cool. Now, when I went to go hang with the lovely Jane last year around Christmas time, this time last year, I got to play with some of these things as samples, and so she knew that I really loved the shimmering pastels because I wanted to play with them all the time. I didn't get a chance to play with the beautiful pen. This is a waterproof brush pen, which looks so very cool. I've actually already pulled it out of its packaging because I wanted to have a look at it up close as soon as it arrived. So I've licensed to Quill LTQ, but it looks super cool. Waterproof brush pen, which is always nice, and the packaging is just banging. And these are the shimmering pastels. I know there's quite a few of the sets of these in different shades. She sent me the pink one, of course. She knows me all too well. They look super cool. And then she also sent me the blending batons to use the pastels with, which I am going to have a play on my page because I haven't tried the matte ones. When I was testing or playing around with the samples, I was like all about the shimmering ones that she had out. So I think she sent me the pinkish toned ones of these as well. They're so cute, and the packaging, she's just so on point with the packaging. It's all the packaging from this line is black, and it looks amazing. And you can see there the fish scales embedded into that. I love it. I love it. And then the other thing she sent me, which is one of the things I was really excited for, I love her rub-ons, the journal tattoos. These are like masks and crowns and eyes and things, and I'm gonna have a blast playing with these. Boo's gonna try and fight me for the fox one, I can tell, but they are so flippin' cool, and I cannot wait to like put some of these on my Nook dwellers and on my creatures and even on a portrait. So that'll be really fun to play with. And she knows how much I adored the journal tattoos and the journal rub-ons in the previous collections, and I've literally got almost none left because I used them all up. So I thought I'd just quickly have a play with these before I let you go. I am just waiting for the Spellbinder stuff to arrive when they decide to start marketing this range, because it went out faster than they expected to Michael. So I'm just waiting for them to do their like promotional tour of this stuff, and then that's when I'll come back in like with the last range. Oh, these are really heavy duty, heavily secured in their packaging. Oh man, I'll be back. Give me a sec because I need to like hack at this. So these look like pretty cool little makeup eyeshadow batons, which because it's inspired all by makeup. These are like pastels. Well, they are pastels, not like pastels. Like the pan pastels, I think I've heard around. And they are super pigmented. Oh yeah. This is what I was doing. I was having so much fun sitting at Jane's dining table, just mushing colors together, because I do this sort of stuff with colored pencil, where I just mush colors together and make like little patches of color in my journal, almost like little unicorn spots. So I need to make sure I don't mix. Oh, they go on super smoothly. And they blend out really nicely too. Let's put some yellow in. Now, I never bought any of the pan pastels because I was not a big fan of how they felt, but you actually cannot tell that these are on your page, which I am really down for. Whereas I think the pan pastels, you could tell that they were on your page with the chalky flavor, the chalky feel. Okay, so let's see if my pen will write over these. This is just a the High-Tech C. I probably should get like a fountain pen or something. They do, kind of. Let me get my pencil case. Hold on. That's when I want a pen, I can't find a pen. Oh my goodness, where are my pens? What is this? A Sarasa Mark. Okay. And then let's just have a play and see how this one goes. I'm terrible at brush pens, but this, ooh, that is black. Like I said, I didn't get to try this sample when Jane had it. Because Kerry at the time was all like up in there. And I didn't get my hands on touching that little sample. But that is super, super black. Trust me to try and do a border with like a brush tip. I am terrible with brush tips. I find I don't have enough control. But this, I'm okay with this one. Oh yeah, I say that and I do a disgusting fat line. Now this is meant to be waterproof, so I'm going to give it a second to dry. And then I'm going to quickly hit it with some watercolor and see how we go. So give me a sec for it to dry. That is cool. I like this. I like this a lot. Now I know why Jane was obsessed with it. I'm going to quickly play with this and then I'm going to let you guys go because I think the studio vlog is quite long. Sorry, my nails are in claw mode. And I'm just going to go into this hot pink down here. And then the shimmery gold one. Oh, it is really shimmery. Oh, that's nice. I like that too. And this little soft. I've made a really ugly mess with what colors I'm using down here. Probably shouldn't have gone. Let's just cover that up with some watercolor, but they are beautiful as well, but I just picked a really bad combination to go on this page. So let's try and cover it up with a bit of watercolor. When in doubt, cover it up with hot pink. They are resisting from what I can see. The gold is resisting the watercolor and so is the pink, but the matte ones aren't. So that's interesting to know. Like I said, I didn't have a heap of play with these when I was visiting, but I'll definitely give them a good run for their money now. But yeah, that was a nice little happy mail surprise that came into my mailbox today, considering I've been hanging out to try the new stuff, but I'm just waiting for Spellbinders to start the PR run, and that's when I get on board and start making crazy kooky things with the supplies. But it was nice to get a little sneak peek early, especially this. This is going to be a lot of people's favorites, I can tell, and she's done a very cool job with this. I really love how waterproof it is, which sometimes things say they're waterproof and they're not. not, and it's really hard to find a brush pen that is waterproof as well. So that is it for the studio vlog. I hope you've had an enjoyable time with me. Your next video will be collage sheet day. That will go live on Sunday, not Saturday, because of the payment cycle. I didn't want to make you wait another week for it, so I'm just releasing them a day later so that they come out after all the payments have been processed. But your calendar will go live tomorrow. So have a wonderful week, Inkies. Thank you so much for joining me for the month of October, and I really do hope that you join me for November. There are some really cool creative tutorials coming in November as we lead up to Christmas as well. So I hope you join me for another month here in the Inky Patreon tribe. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye! I've mentioned David Litchfield in Patreon before. I know I have, because I somehow got through that rabbit trail of YouTube where I ended up on TED Talks, and one of the TED Talks was by David Litchfield, and it's not a very long one, but oh my goodness did it hit home, and I became obsessed with his work after that. And so I actually bought 2 of his books, Granddad's Secret Giant and The Bear and the Piano, and I actually bought The Bear and the Piano for my nephew for his very first birthday present. So his mum's very musical, so I bought him a copy. And so this, actually I'll go with The Bear Piano first, because that's the one that I loved the most. I loved his use